all good. Thanks, everyone. So, over to you, Kim, if you'd like to start.
Well, first, hi, I'm Kim, Alpha Tracker Specialist, and this is Jack. What's your title now, Jack?
CTO at Start
Lovely.
Software now, yes.
Excellent. So we're going to go through Release 42. We're going to talk about our roadmap for Alpha Tracker. That's our first thing. We'll be giving you a little view of where we see Alpha Tracker going. And then we're going to be running through the new features in Release 42, looking at both asbestos and water side of things. And we are also going to be talking a little bit about the challenge that we're doing today, which is our 300 miles in one day challenge. We've got this going on the road, where we've got Dan and Robin cycling all the way to Abu Dhabi, to the coast, on their real bikes. And then we've got a static bike out on the balcony here.
Yeah.
We've currently got James on it. I don't know if you want to sort of...
Yeah, I'll flick the camera around so you guys can see him pedaling away. Hopefully you'll be able to see this okay.
So this is a challenge for Cancer Research UK. We're trying to do, as a team, 300 miles in one day. So
yeah, it's quite some challenge.
Jack and I have delayed our bit till this afternoon.
And we've got a site up as well. You'll have had it through in your email if you had that come through yesterday. So if you can give us some support on here, that would be great. Drop us some messages of support. You can see Jamie's been on there for 50 minutes at the moment, so we'll check back in with him later. And yeah, if you can spare any money to donate towards cancer research, we'd really appreciate it. But we'll move on now to Alpha Tracker. So as Kim mentioned, the roadmap, you can find the roadmap on our website, so alphatracker.co.uk. Head over to the menu and head over to roadmap. So this is our roadmap for 2026. June, release 42, which is what this webinar is about, has obviously just happened. And we've got some more releases coming up throughout the year, which we're calling minor releases. And we've got multiple of those coming out approximately each month before we reach towards the end of the year, which is when we'll be doing our release 43, which is going to have more of a technical overhaul of Alpha Tracker.
Yeah, so this is the final major update before we're rolling out the complete rewrite that's using the new technology stack. Okay, so that's something to look forward to. I mean, the interim releases, they're all focused on particular topics, so you can see them there on the roadmap if you want to have a look at what they're about. Okay, so if we move on to release 42 and start looking at asbestos items, the first one that we've picked up is the instant AI analysis of survey items from photographs. I don't know if you remember seeing this. It was one that we had, one of the apps that we had on the experimental tools that we had on our website. So if you look at the AI tools on our website, just
flick over. So on the AI tools here on the menu, you can see what we're experimenting with AI at the moment. So we've got,
and it's this photo
AI tools here at the top. I couldn't quite see where it was in a moment. AI tools at the top to find all of our experimental tools, and Photo Analyst is one of our most popular ones at the moment. So we've integrated that into Alpha Tracker.
Exactly. So you can find that by going into the survey data. So if you look at your survey data, and then sort of find a suspect item normally. So we could look at, that's a good idea to filter it. That's great. So we've got, if we looked at a negative one first, say,
sure.
So click on the item, you can see the photos.
I'll just blow those photos up a little bit just so you guys can see what they are before we try and analyze them.
Okay, and then to analyze them, you're just clicking the button that's underneath there, AI analysis.
Now this can take a moment or so. Didn't take too long that time, which is good. But it can take just 30 seconds or so, depending on the detail of the image. But this one isn't too detailed. So you can see for this NAD item, you can see it's detected that it's a rubberized floor. Looks like a coin or studded rubber floor. So suspected not to be asbestos, this item here. But we do have some suspected asbestos items as well, don't we, Kim?
Use that roof one at the bottom.
Was it the roof one?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So this one, I'll just blow up again so you can see. Looks like an asbestos roof based on the picture. And if we use AI analysis on that one,
you still get a text description, don't you? But it's describing what it's saying and giving its reasons for saying whether it thinks it's likely to be asbestos or not. Obviously, this doesn't replace analysis, your fibre analysis. That still has got to be done, but it's a pointer for you in advance.
That's right. So this can be quite helpful for verifying the identification. So if something's come back NAD, you might want to use the AI summary to check that against the photo in case you weren't too sure, something like that. But it's quite a helpful tool just to get a quick summary based on the image to give you some sort of indication of whether or not it's likely to be asbestos or not, isn't it? Yeah. So you can see this one's coming back through to say that it's corrugated cement sheets, commonly used for roofing, and in the description it says it's typical to contain asbestos, high likelihood that this material contains asbestos here. So that's quite helpful.
Lovely. Okay, next up, just a few words about the improved Alpha Tracker performance that we should be seeing.
Yeah, so we've made quite a lot of performance improvements under the hood. So our current feedback from our clients who are using Release 42 is that they have seen a performance pickup, which is good news. We monitor Alpha Tracker quite closely in terms of stats that we get through for performance metrics, and we can see our AppDeck score, which is what we track, has gone up by a few points across most clients. So there's a considerable performance update, which is good.
Excellent, excellent. And one of the things that we have improved is the imports. We've got some faster imports going on in Alpha Tracker. Yeah, so they're working in a different way, aren't they? And there's a few. We started with some obvious ones like the master project import.
Yeah, so we've updated some of the most popular importers first of all. So the master project import, the project import, and the diary import. Those three have been updated to use our new import techniques. They're much faster to upload, much faster to process, and will be coming back round to some of the other importers, such as the survey items import and other importers that we have available. Those are to be getting updated over the coming months to use the new method. So we should have updated imports across the system as those releases in our roadmap trickle out over this year.
Okay, so a couple of specific things to say on that master project import. It also now copies the estimated total value from the master. We've added the client project reference onto it. And because verification is slightly different now, isn't it? It's done at a different stage. It's done on data upload rather than process.
Yeah, we've taken away one of the additional clicks in the master project import, which was to verify the data before you processed it. It does that automatically for you now during the upload stage, which is quite helpful.
Yeah, and it's presented as a table, I believe.
Yeah, so when you do the upload now, towards the bottom of the screen, you'd used to be seeing a red block of text if you had validation errors. It's presented a bit more neatly now, so a tabled view comes out with the row numbers as per the spreadsheet, with the validation errors if there are any, and it's a searchable table as well. So if you're working with quite big imports, say thousands of rows, that can be quite handy to be able to search those quite easily.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And on the project import, we've added turnaround. That was a popular request.
Yep.
And client order number will now be copied from the master project if there is a master project, which is quite neat because it means it's looking up the master project and finding that detail and copying it through. Yeah. So I think that's enough detail on the imports. That's they should be working better for you anyway. Next up, we've got site sharing. So we've got some improved site sharing visibility, really. So making it clearer which sites are shared with whom. So you might
That's
remember
right.
that previously we could share sites from the site. So this is for client portal users, really. So you could share a site that belonged to one client with another client. So you're making that site available on the other client's client portal login. Now we've got this new feature on the client where you can share all sites, all sites belonging to the client.
So this is especially handy if you've got hundreds or thousands of sites that you want to share with multiple clients. So say you've got a parent company of another company, perhaps. This is quite handy because you can share all of their data just by sharing the client ID, as opposed to having to share each individual site. So that's much quicker to do, obviously. And we've also built a new screen in where you can check which sites a client can see when they log into the portal.
Yeah, so this is where the greater visibility comes in, isn't it? So we've split it into 3 sections. So if you're on a client, I mean, obviously, bear in mind, this client still needs to have, there still needs to be a login.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And they still need to have like show linked sites permissions to be able to see all of these. But the first column shows the sites that they own, the ones that they can see normally.
Yeah.
Second one is linked sites, which is the previous way that we're doing things, the existing way. And then the third column is showing you the visibility of those shared by the client. So the whole client, isn't it? So we've got there just shared by one client.
Yeah, so that should enable you to have much better visibility compared to what you had before. So if you're not sure what someone can see on the portal in terms of which sites can they or can they not see, you can now use that on the client screen there to see what's available. You can also check it at the user level as well. So I've just got this example user account here. If you've got the show linked sites permission ticked on that user, you'll get an additional button towards the bottom, show client portal available sites. And that just opens up the same screen as before, and it shows which sites that user specifically can see. So that's, again, what they own on the left, what specific sites have been shared with them, if any, and which sites have been shared with them at the client level. So you should be able to see quite easily who can see what going forwards.
Lovely. If we switch to registers now.
Yeah, sure.
So we've got some better registers going on. So if you're looking at a site and then you're going to the asbestos register tab, like we are here, you've then got tabbed registers. So you've got asbestos register, non-asbestos register, removed, and client view. And then a new one that we've got, which is hidden items. So this will list for you any items for that site that have been hidden. So if you remember, if you used it before, you had to go to a project, the project where the item was recorded, and hide the item in that project. Well, now you don't have to. You can do that from here, from this register screen. But this will just give you a view of any of those that have been hidden so that you can see them. So if we switch on to the asbestos tab, just so you can see, so here we've got 4 positive items, and you can edit these. And if you go into edit them, we've got a tick box on the item, in the middle, on the left, hide from register. So that, if you tick it here, that will hide the item from the register. It'll take it off this tab and will move it onto the hidden items tab.
So the hidden items tab, that's primarily so you can restore hidden items, which you couldn't easily do before. You had to almost know which items were hidden before by memory.
Again,
so
greater visibility.
That's right. So you should be able to use that to see what you might have hidden from the client, obviously. But if you need to restore anything, it's quite quick and easy now to come in here and restore things. You've got a checkbox here on the left, so you can tick which items you'd like to unhide or show. Again, once you've done that, You just hit yes or no to that to confirm, and they'll rejoin the asbestos register afterwards.
Yeah, and importantly, there's a little flag there. We've got a green latest flag showing on screen now. So it's either a latest or historic. I think it's the other one that it says. If it's latest, if you unhide that item, it will go onto the asbestos register because it's a latest item. If it says historic, it won't join the asbestos register, but it will join the history of the item where it's from.
So you've got the ability to hide and unhide both the latest and historic items. That's quite good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just to butt in, guys, we've got a question in the chat.
Oh, okay.
So Marvin's asking, how would this work if you have the same site under both clients? For example, we do a survey for a client and we go back and do a survey for their contractor replacing a bathroom.
Well, the site itself is underneath just one client, isn't it? But interesting. What happens? I've no idea. But
I think we'd have to give you a call, Marvin, to get a bit more info from you. I think just to get better scope of what we're looking at there. We'll note down your question, Marvin. We'll come back to you if that's okay when we've had a look at what sort of data you've got set up, and then we can answer that with the best possible answer. Not quite sure based on the context. Sorry.
Tricky one. Okay, and while we're on that screen, we can think about site QR codes.
Yes.
So, as you know, we have QR codes that are at various levels, and there are some at the site level, and we produce private and public ones.
Yeah.
And if you are using them, if you use the private one, then you need to put in a password to access the data. And that password has previously just been at the client level. So there's just been one password per client to access the QR data. Now there's greater security and you can have passwords at the site level.
Oh, great. Okay. So you've got more flexibility with those passwords now. So if certain sites require different passwords, you're able to do that. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
That's it.
Just great.
Access to that site and other people can't see it. So as you can see, it's there on the screen. It's in the settings section. It has to be switched on via settings. So I think you have to
so the default is still client level passwords, but if you want to use site level passwords, we can enable that for you and get those configured.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly. And a couple of other things on the QR codes. I mentioned the public and private. If you only want to be using one, say you just want to be using private ones and don't want public ones in your system, we can switch off one or the other. So
great. Okay. So there's no confusion about which QR codes are which if you don't want to use both. Right.
And I think you've done some work on a QR code log as well. I think that's looking a lot better. More information on that.
Yeah, the QR code logs have been improved. I haven't actually got them up just yet. Let me bring them up for you. I'll show you.
There's more detail, isn't there? So the timings, for example, I think you can see things down to the second in terms of access.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see Jamie's access to QR code here today, and he's been doing quite a few actions. So you can see we've got the record ID as well, so the site ID, so we know which site it was that was accessed. He's loaded the documents, the other documents, gone back into site documents,
register,
asbestos register, back in documents again. So every action as they move through the QR codes are now audited or logged. So if you need reportability for a client, if you need something on their client portal, need something for your own records, you can use this screen. We can produce bespoke reports based on this data if required for certain customers. For people who need that fine-grained level of control to know what contractors have been looking at on the site and if they have been using the QR codes or not.
Okay, so now we've got things on the project list.
Yeah, that's right.
So on the project list, just some interesting additions now. One of them is bulk updates.
Okay. So you should be able to now select multiple projects on the project list, and down here towards the bottom there's a new bulk update button. So you can click bulk update, and this does what it says on the tin, really allows you to change a number of fields for the selected rows. So if you've got lots of projects that you'd like to change the status on, for example, say I wanted to mark all of these as completed status, or if you had a different sort of status in your system, you could select whatever was appropriate. You can combine it as well.
Order number. Exactly.
Yeah, we can combine it. So we could put in client order numbers. You can combine it with all these options. And we'll probably be expanding these options as well as people request them. So if there's something that you feel might be missing from there that you quite often need to update on all of your projects, let us know. We might be able to put that on the bulk update pop-up window here. And then when you are done with that, simply press save. It will give you a little confirmation telling you how many you're about to update. Hit yes, and those updates are run through. I won't run that at the minute because I've got 251 to update, and that might take a second. But that's how that works. So that should save a lot of time on the admin side of things in the system.
Okay, another quick thing on the project list is we've got some more clickable things. So we've got hyperlinks through to the client and to the site directly from the project list now.
Yeah, so here, these are now underlined, the site and the client. So if you're on this screen and you want to open the site up, you no longer need to either search for the site or open the project and go to the site details. You can simply click the hyperlink here, it'll take you straight there.
And for those of you who are big on scheduling and booking work in, you need to know a planning month for a project. That's a new field that's available. You can see it on the right. There's a column, planning months. So it's available on the project list, and it's also on the project itself. Yeah, financials planning. You've got a planning months field here. So if you want to mark projects to sort of say when it should be planned for, what sort of target is for getting it booked in. Yeah, and this will help with people who have large resource teams. This will help them with knowing when the project needs to be scheduled for. So that should be quite handy. And that's then visible on all the relevant screens, not just the project list. Yeah, it's on various screens, isn't it? And it was just here on the right. These ones don't seem to have a planning month on them, but that's where it would be displayed. Yeah. Quick word about on the home screen, there's a reports dashboard. Yeah, we've got a reports dashboard available here. So this is for keeping on track with your SLAs for your customers. So this is showing your reports if they've been generated within the right turnaround times, isn't it? Yeah, so all those produced that month, and whether they're seen as being within SLA. There's quite complicated how that's calculated. Yeah, just let us know if you want some details on it. Yeah, we won't go through that right now, but we can also see on here reports produced by person. So you can see Dan's produced 2 reports this week in our demonstration system. This would obviously be populated quite heavily with staff members in a real system, but if you wanted to keep on track of who's producing reports, that's quite handy. And you can also see some client information towards the bottom as well. So how many reports are overdue and how many are due today for your clients, which is quite a handy feature. So another dashboard there. Yeah. Now we've got some water things to look at. We've had a number of major water hygiene enhancements, such as clearer risk logic, I think. Yeah, that's right. Session of risks. Lots of that going on to improve how the data looks on the client portal. And one new feature is the LRA review. It's a new water project type. Yeah, so for those of you who are doing Legionella Risk Assessments in Alpha Tracker, if you didn't know it can do Legionella, then we do have a water hygiene module that does Legionella. But for those of you who are already using it, we do now have this LRA review type that can be set up against the water project type. So this kind of acts similar to an asbestos reinspection, doesn't it? That's right. So you create the LRA review. When you create that project, it will prompt you if a LRA has already been completed for that same site. So it will say one's been detected, it was when it was completed, and it will offer to copy
the information from the previous LRA into the LRA review. So this will save a lot of time for the site team doing Legionella risk assessments, because it will copy the question answers, it will copy the assets and the outlets, so they're already there, ready to go. They don't need to swipe them in. If you're familiar with that in Alpha Tracker Mobile, when doing water hygiene work, it will already all be there for you. All you need to do is then record the temperatures and answer any new questions that might be specific to the review stage that weren't captured on the original LRA.
Yeah, just give us a call if you need information about how to set up one of those projects. Okay, other things that have gone on with water, we've extended the key milestones into the water module, which is nice.
That's right.
So there are a number of those now available for you to use with the water projects, things like first day on site, last day on site, survey approved, and you can do draft projects now. So there's also a draft report produced one that's working. So yeah.
Yeah, so just bringing it more in line with the asbestos side of things, isn't it, in terms of milestone work and that type of thing, which is very handy.
Also in water, you can add assets and outlets to a project in bulk.
Oh, in Alpha Tracker Mobile, yeah. So again, if there's any Alpha Tracker Mobile users on the webinar who use it for water hygiene, you may have noticed a new update came out a couple of weeks ago. That's now got the ability to bulk add your assets and your outlets. So you can bulk add by location, bulk add by asset type. I think there's a bulk add all as well, just to add everything if you need to do that. So if you haven't noticed that, take a look. Should be a lot quicker than having to swipe in each thing individually.
Okay, and the final thing on water is the monthly project summary.
Sure.
So that's had a bit of work done to it. Looks nice and neat now.
Yeah, so we've enhanced this quite a bit. Again, this is primarily for water people, to help them with planning, because it's a lot of regular work in water, a lot of monthly site visits.
Yeah.
So what we've got here now is the ability to search by the client, put in your start month and your end month, and then see your entire summary for that date range, to see which jobs are scheduled, which ones haven't happened, which ones are incomplete,
exactly.
which ones are planned, which ones are done.
The sites are listed. That's what each row is. Each row is a site, and then you can see when they're scheduled. You can see the project number. If you hover, you can actually see the details of the appointment, and if you click, you would go through to the project itself. The colour coding, there's a key on the side there. So we've got green ones as complete, red ones as incomplete, and blue ones as just planned. Where you can see the little acronyms after the project number, that's the project type.
We've got a key towards the bottom where you can see the types there. So LRA for Legionella Risk Assessments, TM for temperature monitoring, etc. So yeah, the little key towards the bottom if you've got lots and lots of lots of project types. But that should be quite a handy feature for the water hygiene users.
Lovely. Now there are also quite a few features for Australia and New Zealand, but we're not going to cover those. They'll be covered in a separate webinar for those customers, those clients. They'll be looking at their sort of different asbestos material assessment scoring and that kind of thing that's there.
Great. Yeah, so if there is any Australian folks on the webinar currently, expect to receive some communication about Australian webinars from Judy in the coming weeks.
Right, so can we switch over to our cycling effort again now?
We can do. So cycling looks like Jamie has been going now for an hour and 18. So I can see him at the minute. He's got a sweat on. It's quite a hot day for it today.
I've seen him munching bananas, having an energy drink.
And I'm hoping we can get Dan and Robin on a call. I'll try and give him a quick WhatsApp. I'll see if I can get them on. Let's see. They are in Wales, so I'm not quite sure what the signal will be like, but we'll try and get them on. I'll just give them a call now.
We're half expecting them to interrupt us
Yeah, I was expecting the call already, so it might be there's no signal. If there's no signal, then never mind.
But we're not doing badly. Look, 135 out of 300.
Ah, here he is. Let me just put you on the screen share, Robin.
Oh.
Here he is. You're on the webinar. You're live.
Oh,
I'm not sure the signal is the best. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. Good.
how's it going? Tell us how it's going. Wobbly legs yet? Oh,
Oh, crikey. Yeah, great.
looks like you're about halfway, according to this. All right.
All right, we'll leave you to it. Cheers, guys. Good luck. Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, the signal's not the best, you can tell in Wales, but yeah, they're cracking on. So yeah, anything you guys can donate would be fantastic. Dan and Robin really really appreciate your support, and so will I when I get on the static bike in a minute. But I think that takes us to the end of the webinar. Does it, Kim?
Any more questions?
Any questions, Zach?
No, nothing else at the moment, Jack.
No, all good. Great stuff. In which case, we'll wrap up the webinar. If you guys think of anything that
it looks like we have got a question coming in.
What documentation is there about these new features? My main concern about rolling this out in my company is training and making sure the users are aware and trained on the new features. What documentation do you have to support this new version?
So we've got, Ben, if you head over to our website, go over to the menu on the left here. If you come down to manuals and release notes.
Okay.
The latest release notes are here, release 42. So just click download on there. That's got all the changes we've made, any new features, any bug fixes, anything like that. And
you can access all of the release notes for the previous releases there too.
Yeah, and the user guide, if it hasn't been already, I guess it's going to be shortly updated, isn't it?
Shortly,
so
in
that's
progress.
Kim's responsibility, so I'm looking at Kim. So the user guide itself will be getting updated soon as well, if it hasn't been already. So take a look at the release notes first, by the sounds of it. That will have all the changes in, and Kim will let you know when the user guide's been updated as well.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. Thanks, Ben. If there's no other questions, we'll wrap up. I'm going to go get ready to get on the bike.
Let's go and get our Lycra.
Thanks, everyone. Hope that was helpful. Any questions, just drop us an email.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.